Hello and welcome to this edition of Bayou Time. I'm your host, Keith Weissite, licensed clinical social worker with Terrebonne Home Care. And thank you for joining us, however you may be joining us. And as always, anytime there's anything that's happening with things that take place in the Gulf, we always turn to our expert, much like you turn to your expert here at HTV. Welcome back to the program, Chett Chiasson, Executive Director of the Greater Lafourche Port Commission. Chett, welcome back to the program.
Thank you for having me again, Keith.
Yeah, you know, it's kind of interesting. Every couple of months we have this discussion about some decision that really makes a huge impact in our community and the people around us, and certainly for you guys at the port. Let's talk a little bit about this offshore lease sales being canceled again.
Yeah, so basically what happened here, just to kind of set the stage a little bit, is we had the back end of the last 5-year leasing plan for the United States in the Gulf of Mexico. And basically there were a couple more lease sales that could have taken place, and our administration decided that we weren't going to do that. We're going to cancel those lease sales, not just for the Gulf of Mexico, but for Alaska as well, which basically says to the entire world, we're not in favor of doing any more work in the U.S. waters and when it comes to new facilities or new exploring of oil and natural gas on any new locations. So that's obviously for us, and we've been talking about this for a long time. We always talk about it, but it's a really short-sighted mindset. And we see what's going on with the price of a barrel of oil today. We see what's going on with the price of gas at the pump. And all this does is exacerbate that and kick the can down the road and say, oh no, not us, but we want our energy too. So why, if we're not going to explore, have new locations for us to develop new facilities, new wells for oil and natural gas in the United States, I mean, that's just really hinders our energy security and our security as a whole for this country.
Yeah, and it's not like we're not exploring all these other options. I mean, we've been talking about wind for a long time and really doing exploration, but we need to sustain what we can for the U.S. now. And if we're not going to do it with development in the U.S., it's like you said, it's just short-sighted. Let us at least take care of our own oil and gas needs that we have right now. Let us take care of that ourselves.
Absolutely. Look, we're dealing with a major issue when it comes to the cost of energy. And that's going to continue to happen because we're not doing anything to help ourselves into the future. We know where we are today in terms of how our energy is provided. We know that we have this transition that's afoot. You know, it's coming. Things are moving in a transitional space for different types of energy. However, we have to have, and we talk about it all the time, again, we have to have a balanced, smart, strategic approach to our energy for this country, because we cannot get to where many want to be without our current sources of energy. And all this does, all these decisions do is cause uncertainty, causes uncertainty in the market, causes uncertainty for everyone around this country, for people's pocketbooks. Inflation is at a high level. We haven't seen it like this for many, many, many years, for a long time. And we're just going to continue to see that. And people can't afford for fuel prices, for grocery prices, for all of those things that we're trying to purchase on a daily basis to survive, to provide for our families. We can't afford this. And it's just going to continue to get worse. And I can tell you, this type of approach to energy in our country, I know Scott Angel says this all the time, and many others that have been around for many years. Every recession that we've ever seen in this country, at least the last 6 that we know of, have been preceded by a rise in oil prices, a rise in gas prices at the pump. So I can tell you, we can read the tea leaves. If we don't do something soon, and we may be too late, unfortunately, right, but we're going to see a recession in this country, and it's going to cause problems. It's going to continue to cause problems. And I think the biggest frustration is that we can control this, and we're not doing what we can as a country to do so. Look, with the Russia things going on with Russia and Ukraine right now, the U.S. Gulf of Mexico should be expanding. We should be doing some great things in this country with providing energy, good, clean, um, environmentally friendly, affordable energy for our own country, providing that for ourselves. And that's not what we're seeing. We should see investment, jobs, business growth. And we're not seeing that because our administration has just set a wall around the Gulf of Mexico.
Well, and they put a little bit of a bullseye, and quite frankly, it's not even a Band-Aid because we're not fixing any situations, but it's a bullseye on we want to get away from oil and gas, but we can't just do that. It's too impetuous. We've got to have a plan to transition, and y'all are trying to do that, but this administration is really holding us back from doing that. And it's about not seeing the big picture. It's about looking at a smaller picture and it creating a bigger problem. And we've seen that historically with political decisions. But Chett, we always appreciate your time and your insight. We'll see if we can avoid getting into that recession. And we'll see if maybe we can get some reversal on some of these decisions and reinvest in what you know is working and what we know will continue to work. Chett, always appreciate your time.
Thanks for having me again, Keith.
All right, guys. And again, that will do it for this particular segment. Don't go anywhere. A lot more Bayou time when we continue.